Success is not a mystery. It is not a game of dice. It is a system of cause and effect, and every effect you desire has a cause waiting to be discovered. Look around you. The world is filled with people who once had nothing, and now have everything they dreamed of. They were not blessed by fate or chosen by fortune. They learned the rules of the game. They studied the code. They acted with intention. And most importantly, they believed that success was not accidental. You see, the masses are raised to believe that success belongs to the lucky, the privileged, or the exceptionally gifted. That belief keeps them stuck. It keeps them small. It gives them a reason not to try. Because if success is random, then failure is not their fault. But here is the truth. Success leaves tracks. And if you follow the tracks of those who walked before you, you will arrive at the same destination. Not because of luck, but because of the law. The law of cause and effect. The man who earns 10 times more than his peers is not 10 times luckier. He is doing something different, something deliberate, something measurable. He is applying principles that produce results over and over again. He is not waiting for a break. He is becoming the break. When I first heard of this law, I was working with my hands, laboring through 10-hour days, trying to outrun bills and broken dreams. But then I asked a simple question. Why do some people rise while others remain stuck? The answer led me down a path of study, of seeking, of applying, and everything changed. The truth is simple. If you can define a result, you can trace the actions that lead to it. If you find someone who has what you want, you can reverse engineer their process. And if you are willing to do what they did, you will eventually get what they have. That is not motivation. That is mathematics. Every business breakthrough, every financial turnaround, every story of transformation, they all begin with someone deciding to believe that results are not random, that patterns exist, that habits compound, that action, repeated, creates destiny. Nature does not care who you are. It does not care about your height, your background, your bank account, or your past. Nature rewards those who follow the formula. You plant, you water, you wait, you harvest, the system works. If you do, there is no shortcut around this principle. It is the foundation of medicine, of science, of marketing, of business. Every discipline on earth follows the same truth. Input creates output. Motion creates momentum. Effort creates elevation. So the question is no longer why them and not you. The question is, what are they doing that you are not? What habits have they mastered? What skills have they built? What beliefs have they shattered? Because behind every millionaire is not magic, it is mastery. It is mornings of discipline, nights of reading, hours of practice, years of faith. And here is the final piece. If one person can do it, so can you. Success is not locked away behind golden gates. It is built brick by brick by those who are willing to take responsibility, ask the right questions, and move forward without excuse. This is the shift that starts it all. From luck to law, from maybe to must, from hoping to doing. Now you have seen the track. The only thing left is to follow it. No one is coming to rescue you. No hand will reach down from the sky and pull you out of mediocrity. The turning point of your life begins the moment you accept this truth. It was a cold night when I sat alone in a one-bedroom apartment with no money, no direction, and no idea what came next. That silence, that stillness, that moment of truth, whispered the words I never forgot. You are in charge. Not your parents, not your boss, not the economy, not your friends, not your fears. You. The world teaches people to wait. Wait for the right time. Wait for approval. Wait for motivation. Wait for someone else to fix their lives. And while they wait, time passes. Opportunities vanish. Dreams decay. But the winners, the builders, the game changers, they know something different. They know that everything changes the day you decide to own it all. The pain, the failure, the missed chances, the wasted years, all of it. Yours. And because it is yours, you can change it. Responsibility is not a burden. It is a weapon. The moment you accept total responsibility, you reclaim power over your future. Most people live like employees in their own life, clocking in and clocking out, showing up just enough to avoid collapse, hoping someone else will notice and reward them. But the top 3%, the self-made, the architects of abundance, they live like owners. They think like owners. They act like owners. They plan, they adapt, they respond, they improve. Even when someone else signs their paycheck, they treat the business like it's their own. And eventually, it becomes true. Responsibility is not glamorous. It is not celebrated. But it is the seed from which all growth blooms. The one who says, I am in charge of my learning, my income, my health, my mindset, that person is dangerous. That person becomes unstoppable. If you ask a room full of people who sees themselves as autonomous, a few hands go up. But the truth is, every single one of them is. Autonomy is not granted. It is claimed. It is lived. There is a dangerous belief in our world. The belief that someone else is holding the key. That someone else is responsible for your lack of progress. That circumstances dictate success. That belief is poison. It keeps people small. It gives them a story to hide behind. But here is a better story. A true one. That you were designed with the ability to choose, to act, to change, to rise. And every day you cast a vote for the life you are building. With your words, with your habits, with your decisions. This is not about blame. It is about ownership. There is a quiet power in saying, this is mine, my results, my life, my responsibility. Because the moment you say that, everything becomes possible. You are no longer a passenger. You are the pilot. And yes, the storms will come. The skies will darken. But you will fly anyway. You are the one who can learn, the one who can improve, the one who can create something from nothing. Responsibility is not what limits you. It is what frees you. You are not waiting for a savior. You are becoming your own. So take this truth and wear it like armor. You are in charge now, and that means no one can stop you but you. Some people say they are not good with money. Others say they cannot sell, cannot lead, cannot build, cannot learn. But let me tell you a truth that will tear down every excuse you have ever made. Every skill is learnable. There is no genetic code that decides who understands wealth. There is no bloodline that grants someone the ability to negotiate or influence or lead. These are not gifts. They are skills. And skills can be learned by anyone who has the will to learn them. You were not born knowing how to drive a car, but with guidance, practice, and repetition, you learned. You are not born knowing how to speak, how to read, how to solve problems, but you learned. So why do people believe that financial literacy or business acumen or communication is reserved for a chosen few? Because it gives them a story that says they are not responsible, a story that justifies standing still. But that story is a lie. The truth is far more empowering. If you are willing to learn, if you are willing to fail forward, if you are willing to repeat and refine, then you are only one skill away from a completely different life. In every room, there is a person earning 10 times more than the rest. Not because of luck, but because of one skill, one insight, one system, one habit. It is not always a complicated thing. Sometimes it is the ability to ask. Sometimes it is mastering the art of follow-up. Sometimes it is learning to manage emotions during pressure. Simple things, but powerful. The difference between where you are and where you want to be is rarely talent. It is usually knowledge plus execution. The question is not, can you learn? The question is, will you? And here is the liberating secret. You do not need to master everything. You need to identify the one skill, the next skill, the highest leverage skill, and go deep. Study those who have already built what you want. Look closely. What are they doing differently? What patterns emerge? What skill is most responsible for their breakthrough? Then go and get it. Read the books. Take the classes. Watch the interviews. Ask the questions. Test and apply. You will feel resistance. That is normal. Growth never arrives wrapped in comfort. But if you persist, the skill becomes part of you. And once it is yours, no one can take it. The world does not need you to know everything. It needs you to be dangerous with one thing. Start there. Learn like your life depends on it. Because it does. Remember this. The bridge between frustration and freedom is skill. And skill is not found. It is built. You are not broken. You are just one lesson away. The pursuit of wealth is never just about money. It is about who you become on the way there. You see, most people want the outcome. They want the car, the house, the lifestyle, but they forget that the outcome is a reflection. It is a mirror showing the person you had to become to hold that level of success. Because the real journey is not external. It is internal. The transformation that takes place inside you is the true wealth. The habits, the clarity, the resilience, the vision, the emotional strength. These are the treasures no thief can steal. Let me say something to you that few people will. You can become a millionaire, but it will require a different version of you. Not a fake version, not a mask, but a refined version. Stronger, sharper, focused. You will have to trade comfort for growth, excuses for ownership, distraction for discipline. And that is where the real magic lives. A man once told me, if you want something you've never had, you must become someone you've never been. That line stayed with me, because it is true. Every breakthrough in life begins with identity. Not what you want, but who you are willing to become to deserve it. So ask yourself, what does the version of you that earns 7 figures believe? How do they think? How do they speak? How do they spend their time? Because money does not change people. It reveals who they are. If you become the kind of person who thinks long-term, acts with intention, lives with integrity, and adds value to others, then wealth will follow you like a shadow. But if you chase money without character, it will destroy you. Fast success without a strong foundation is a dangerous thing. That is why the journey matters. That is why the growth matters. You are not just building a bank account. You are building your name, your soul, your future. The discipline you develop when no one is watching. The consistency you uphold when results are slow. The courage you show when doubt creeps in. These things matter. They shape you. They prepare you for everything you dream of. The world is full of people trying to get rich quick. Very few ask a deeper question. Who do I need to become to build lasting wealth and peace of mind? The answer is not in luck or shortcuts. It is in self-mastery. Master your emotions, master your focus, master your time, master your response to adversity. That is the true currency. And once you own it, no one can take it from you. So yes, pursue success, pursue abundance, but let that pursuit refine you. Let it make you better. Let it reveal the strength you always had but never used. Because in the end, the car will rust, the house will age, but the man or woman you become, that legacy will live forever. There is a quiet difference between someone who works to survive and someone who wakes up to create. One drags their feet through Monday. The other cannot wait for sunrise. The secret behind the highest performers is not talent. It is alignment. It is doing what you were born to do. Look at the people who rise. The ones who do not just earn but elevate. They are not motivated by the paycheck alone. They are pulled forward by purpose. They have found the work that makes their soul speak. When you love what you do, you enter a different league. Your energy is different, Your learning is faster, your effort becomes effortless. And that shift changes everything. Most people treat work like a burden, a necessary evil, a means to an end. And so they live divided. They give just enough to keep the job, but never enough to grow. They wait for weekends like prisoners wait for release. But not the builders, not the ones who master their lives. The people who win long-term are the ones who find joy in the process. They do not need permission to go the extra mile. They do not complain about Monday. They welcome it, because they are not just working. They are living through their craft. Here is the truth. Success is fueled by passion, but built through obsession. You need to love it enough to study it, to fail in it, to get back up in it, and still want more. If you are not obsessed with becoming excellent at what you do, you are in the wrong field. The market does not pay average, it pays for greatness. And greatness only grows where love is present. Do not ask what pays the most. Ask what makes you come alive. Because what makes you come alive will eventually make you unstoppable. That is the shift. From just doing your job, to loving your mission. From surviving Monday, to owning it. From marking time, to making impact. When you love your craft, learning becomes a privilege. Practice becomes joy. Progress becomes oxygen. And here is the most beautiful part. The thing you love to do is often the thing you are meant to do. You are wired for it, built for it, prepared for it long before you knew it existed. You will know you found it when time disappears, when work feels like art, when challenge feels like a puzzle, when excellence feels natural. So if you have not found it yet, do not settle. Keep searching. Try new things. Pay attention to your curiosity, your frustration, your envy. They are clues. But when you find it, commit. Go all in. Study it. Live it. Give it everything. Because that is how you move. From mediocrity to mastery. From noise to signal. From job to legacy. People ask, how long does it take? How long to build the skill, to master the craft, to reach the top? They want it in weeks, in months, in shortcuts. But mastery does not come fast. It comes steady. The truth is, it takes 5 to 7 years to become world-class in almost anything. That is the price. And most people hear that and walk away. But let me ask you this. How old will you be in 5 years anyway? The time will pass. Whether you use it or waste it, it will pass. The only question is, what will you have to show for it? You see, the mediocre want fast results. The excellent want real results. And real results require commitment over time. We live in a world addicted to instant likes, instant rewards, instant gratification. But nothing meaningful comes easy. Nothing lasting comes fast. You want financial freedom, mastery in your field, deep relationships, a powerful life. Then give it time, give it effort, give it years of focused, intelligent action. The mistake people make is expecting year 5 results in week 5 discipline. They dabble, then get discouraged. But those who win know this secret. You do not plant today and harvest tomorrow. You sow, you water, you wait. And while you wait, you grow. Every expert was once a beginner. Every master once made mistakes. Every success story once looked like a failure halfway through. The long game is not easy, but it is always worth it. There will be moments when it feels like nothing is working, when results are slow, when people doubt you, when even you doubt yourself. Keep going, because success is not always seen in the moment. It often shows up later, all at once, after years of invisible progress. You must have faith in the compound effect, that small things, done consistently, become big things. 5 years from now, you will be 5 years older. Will you be further or frustrated? That is the choice. If you commit now and stay the course and keep improving just a little bit every day, then 5 years from now you will not recognize your life. You will have the skill, the strength, the network, the mindset, the wealth, because you built it brick by brick. But if you wait for the perfect moment, If you start and stop, if you doubt more than you do, then 5 years from now, you will still be wondering. The long game is not about slow action. It is about sustained action. It is about focus over time. Do not fear time. Use it. Decide today to start something that your future self will thank you for. Let others quit. Let others chase shiny things. You play the long game. You build the foundation. You show up. You improve. And when the world finally sees you rise, they will call it sudden. But you will know it was never sudden. It was earned. You cannot hit a target you cannot see, and you cannot build a future you have not imagined. Most people drift. They move through life reacting, not creating, responding, not leading. They wake up and survive the day, but they have no map, no direction, no fire. But those who rise, those who build extraordinary lives, they see it before they touch it. They know what they want, in vivid detail. You ask them about the future, and they do not speak in vague dreams. They speak in numbers, in locations, in time frames. They have clarity, and that clarity gives them power. When you know what you want, decisions become easier. Distractions lose their grip. You stop chasing everything because you are focused on one thing. And that focus, day after day, builds momentum that no obstacle can stop. Vision is not fantasy. It is a tool. It is the first step in creating any life worth living. So ask yourself, if your life was perfect in 5 years, what would it look like? Not just the car, not just the money, but the feeling, the people, the freedom, the impact. Where would you live? What would your day look like? Who would you serve? What would your health be? How would your time be spent? Write it down. Speak it out. See it in your mind every day. Because what you feed your mind, your life begins to seek. And do not censor your vision. Do not shrink it to fit what you think is realistic. Dream in full color. Dream with courage. Because even if you only get halfway, you will still be ahead of the crowd who never dared to begin. This is not about wishing. It is about designing. Vision is the architect. Action is the builder. Together, they create legacy. There is a reason the most successful people journal their goals. Repeat affirmations, visualize. It is not mysticism, it is focus. It is programming your mind to filter out noise and see opportunities others miss. If you do not tell your brain where to go, it will wander. And in a world filled with distractions, wandering minds rarely find purpose. So build your dream list. Treat it like a child's Christmas list. No limits, no shame. Just possibility. Let yourself want. Let yourself believe again. And once the vision is written, read it every day. Let it guide your habits, your time, your relationships. Because when your vision is strong enough, it pulls you through resistance. It lifts you in low moments. It reminds you who you are becoming. This is the shift. From wandering to targeting. From vague to vivid. From drifting to designing. Most people spend more time planning a vacation than they do designing their future. Do not be one of them. You deserve more than survival. But you must define what more looks like. You must name it before you can claim it. Your dream life is waiting. But only if you can see it. There is an island called Someday. A place where dreams live but never breathe. A place where intentions go to die. Most people live there. They speak of it often. Someday I'll start saving. Someday I'll get healthy. Someday I'll launch that business. Someday I'll change my life. But someday is not on the calendar. It is a myth, a comfortable trap. And the longer you stay there, the harder it becomes to leave. The truth is, most people never failed because they tried and lost. They failed because they never tried at all. They talk, they plan, they hope, but they never move. You want to be different. Then, start today. Not next week. Not when it feels right. not when fear goes away. Today, action is the only cure for regret. Motion is the only weapon against fear. No one ever changed their life with perfect timing. They changed it by moving through the imperfect moment they had. You will never feel ready. You will never know enough. But none of that matters. What matters is that you start. Start messy. Start unsure. Start with trembling hands and a racing heart. But start, because once you move, the fog begins to clear. Confidence grows, clarity sharpens, energy builds. Action creates momentum, and momentum changes everything. This is how dreams are built. Not in a perfect room, but in real time. With real risk, with real sweat. You must decide that your excuses are no longer welcome. That fear does not get the final say. That someday is dead and buried. Do not wait for the environment to be ideal. It never will be. Do not wait for people to understand. They never fully will. Do not wait for permission. You already have it. Your life is a project. And every day you wait, the foundation gets weaker. But every day you act, even in small ways, the structure begins to rise. This is the shift. From delay to doing. From dreaming to doing. From someday to now. So ask yourself, what is one thing you can do today? One action that moves you forward. One step that breaks the spell of procrastination. Then do it. Do it scared. Do it unsure. But do it. Because if you wait for confidence, you will wait forever. But if you act, confidence will come. The clock is ticking. And time is not your enemy. It is your mirror. It shows what you prioritize, what you value, what you believe is possible. So make it count. Let this be the day you stop circling your goals and start claiming them. Let the world see what happens when you choose now instead of someday. Because the only difference between those who have and those who wish is movement. Average is overcrowded. Mediocrity is easy. That is why most people live there. But those who change the game, those who build the life they dream of, they do not dabble. They do not dabble in effort, in skill, in discipline. They commit fully, fiercely, forever. Excellence is not a result. It is a decision to do what others won't, to go further, stay longer, think deeper. You will never rise by doing what the crowd does, because the crowd stops when it gets hard. The crowd quits when it gets boring. The crowd settles when it gets good enough. But excellence does not settle. It expands. It sharpens. It refines. And here is what most people do not understand. Excellence is not a talent. It is a habit. It is the willingness to do ordinary things with extraordinary consistency. Ask anyone at the top of their field. They will tell you the same thing. They did not begin as the best. They began as beginners. But they made a decision that average would never satisfy them. And that decision changed everything. You do not need to be the most gifted. You do not need the perfect background. You just need to be the most committed. To learning, to growing, to sharpening your edge. The world rewards the top 10%. It pays them more, trusts them more, follows them more, because they have earned it. Through years of invisible work, through quiet mornings and late nights, through choices made in silence. So here is your challenge. Pick one thing, just one, and decide to be excellent at it. Give it your time, your mind, your effort, your hunger. Study the best, copy their habits, model their rituals, track your progress, and push yourself to the edge of mastery. It may take years, but those years will pass anyway. And the rewards are not just external. When you know you are excellent, you carry yourself differently. You walk with quiet confidence. You speak with calm authority. You no longer need to prove. You know. Excellence builds reputation. But more than that, it builds identity. Because when you choose to become great at something, You discover who you truly are. You meet the version of you that is disciplined, focused, powerful. And that version is the one who builds wealth, who earns trust, who inspires others. Let the crowd stay average. You are not made for that. Choose excellence. Build excellence. Live excellence. And when the results show, let them say you were lucky. You will know better. Now you know the truth. You are not missing luck. You are not waiting for a miracle. You are not too late. You are simply one skill away. One shift in how you think, one change in what you believe, one choice to step forward instead of holding back. And if you take that step, if you commit to the path of growth, of purpose, of relentless personal evolution, then everything changes. You become the kind of person who commands life, not chases it. You become a builder of value, not a beggar for approval. You become wealth, not just in your bank account, but in your soul, your habits, your character. Every shift you make stacks on the last, from believing in cause and effect, to taking full ownership, to mastering your craft, to defining a clear vision, to refusing delay, to choosing excellence. These are not motivational phrases. They are structural pillars. And together, they build a life that stands tall through any storm. Now you face a choice. Do you go back to drifting? Or do you begin designing? Do you keep waiting for the right moment? Or do you create it? Do you remain who you were? Or become who you were meant to be? No one can make that decision for you. But remember this: the person you admire, the life you desire, the legacy you dream of, all of it is built by the same raw material: time, effort, skill, focus, courage. And you already have all of them. So take them, shape them, use them. Because you are not here to survive. You are here to lead, to grow, to rise, to give, to build something that lasts. Let this be the moment where your life turns, where excuses die, where purpose lives. You are one skill away. So make the shift and never look back.